Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. This is daily news analysis of Hindu and PIB of 14th August 2018. Okay, let's see what are the important article of today. India reject. The first one is India rejects UK proposal on DNA test for illegal migrants. Listen, there is recently tension going on between India and UK about the migrants, illegal migrants. Okay, UK government asks India to use DNA sampling to establish the nationality of illegal migrants, which India rejected, citing privacy issue. Okay, guys, listen. We can read this article in two ways. Either we can read it on the basis of international relation between UK and India, either you can read it about the privacy law. So I have discussed privacy law in India in this video. So let's see what is it privacy law in India. Look, there is the Constitution of India does not patently grant fundamental right to privacy, but however, the courts have read the right to privacy into other existing fundamental rights in the Article 19 subclause 1A and under Article 21, that is personal life and right to life and personal liberty. Okay. However, these fundamental rights under the Constitution of India are subject to some reasonable restriction given under Article 19 subclause 2. And recently, here you can see recently the landmark case of Justice K.S. Puthusamy versus Union of India. The Constitution bench of Honorable Supreme Court has held the right to privacy as a fundamental right subject to certain reasonable restriction. Now the question is there any law prevail in India about the privacy? Yes, there is. Here you can see them. One is Information Technology Act 2000, another is Contract Act 1872. Okay, under section 43 of Indian Information Technology Act, a body corporate who is possessing, dealing or handling any sensitive personal data or information and is negligent in implementing the maintaining reasonable security practices, returning wrongful loss or wrongful gain to any person, then such body corporate may be held liable to pay damage to a person so affected. This is section 43 of Information Technology Act 2000. It is important to note that there is no upper limit specified for the compensations. There is no upper limit specified for the compensation that can be claimed by the affected person. Okay, and the sensitive data. What are the sensitive data? Look at here. These are the sensitive data definitions. Here is it. The passwords, financial information such as bank account, credit card, or other payment instruments, physical and physiological and mental health conditions, sexual orientation, medical records and history, and biometric information. Okay, also under section 72 of the Information Technology Act of 2000, disclosure of information knowingly and intentionally without the consent of a person concerned and in breach of lawful contracts has been also made punishable with imprisonment existing up to 3 years and fine up to 5 lakh. Okay, and it is to be noted that section 69 of the act, which is an exception to the general rule, of maintenance of privacy and secrecy of the information, provides that they were the government is satisfied the necessary in the interest of the sovereignty of India, defense of India, security of the state, and friendly relation with foreign states for preventing incitement to the commission to any cognizable offence relating to above or for investigation of any offences. In these cases, government of India can give the personal data. Okay, and now let's see the second article. This is an interesting one, and I always tell that UPSC love to ask question on indexes, reports, national organization, international organization, and this is one of them. Pune tops ease of living index ranked Patna ranked lowest in 111 cities. Okay, and this living ease of living index brought out by Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs for the first time. Okay, and the first three cities are Pune, Navi Mumbai and Greater Mumbai. Here you can see, and the parameters of measuring of ranking these institutions, these are governance, institutional or governance, social indicators, economic indicators and physical infrastructure. Okay, senior ministry official told Hindu that cities were unable or unwilling to provide data receive low scores. Okay, and the third article of today is farms told to disclose panels on sexual harassment. Okay, farms told to disclose panel on sexual harassment in order to ensure better implement of the law existing sexual harassment at workplace. The center has made it mandatory, remember, made it mandatory for companies to disclose whether they have constituted an internal complaints committee, that is ICC, to probe such allegations. The Corporate Affairs Ministry has amended the Companies Rules 2014, okay, which governed by Companies Act 2013. And the Companies Rule 2014, here is it. The new clause says the report will have to contain a statement that the company has complied with provision relating to the constitution of internal complaints committee under the sexual harassment of women at workplace. Okay, under sexual harassment at Workplace Act, it is mandatory for any organizations, remember, it is mandatory for any organization with 10 or more employees to constitute an ICC. An employer who doesn't do so could face a fine up to 50,000. Remember, this is mandatory for the firm who has employee strength about above 10 or 10. An ICC should consist of a presiding officer who is a woman employee at a senior level, as the same organization at least employees preferably committed to cause of women, and a member of NGO or a person familiar with issues relating to sexual harassment. That's how ICC should be confirmed. Okay, constitute, sorry. The committee the committee would have powers similar to those of a civil court and would have complete its inquiry 90 days. And remember, this committee will have power like a civil court, and the inquiry has to be completed within 90 days. Okay, this is about the article. Now let's see the next article. The next article is a retail inflation slows to 9-month low at 4.17%. Listen everyone, go through this article. There are lots of data which will help you to write answer in mains of the UPSC examination, also help you to write essays in the examination. So better to go through it and make a note of those data. Here I will tell you about the inflation and MSP. Okay, so go ahead. What is inflation? The first question is, what is inflation? Inflation is the rate at which level of price for goods and services is rising, and consequently the purchasing power of currency is failing. Okay, so that is inflation. So inflation can be studied core inflation and headline inflation. Here is the first one is core inflation. What is core inflation? Core inflation is known as underlying inflation, is a measure of inflation which excludes items that face volatile price movement. Okay, or volatile price movement, notably food and energy. In other words, core inflation is nothing but headline inflation minus that inflation is nothing but headline inflation minus inflation that is contributed by food and energy commodities. Okay, to understand the concept in a better way, we can say that food and fuel price may go up in the short run due to some disturbance in the agriculture sector or oil economy. However, over the long term, they tend to revert back to their normal growth. On the other hand, prices of other commodities do not fluctuate as regularly as food and other fuel. As such, increase in their price could be taken relatively to be much more of a permanent nature. Okay, so that is core inflation. If this is so, then it follows logically for central banks to target on the core inflation, as it reflects the demand side pressure in the economy. In practice too, the RBI and central banks around the world always keep an eye on the core inflation. Whenever core inflation rises, central bank increase their key policy rates to suck excess liquidity from the market and vice versa. Means whenever there is excess liquidity, the central bank, means RBI, increases OMO. Okay, means open market operation. They sells the uh, government bonds and securities in the to the public, and also they can increase bank rate to serve the money liquidity from the liquid money from the market. Also CRR, okay, SLR, they can increase this. That's how they can suck money from an economy. Okay, now let's see about the headline inflation. Okay, headline inflation in general reflects the rate of change in price of all goods and services in the economy. Every country has its own set of commodity basket to track inflation. While some countries use the WPI as their official measures of inflation, and some other uses CPI, consumer price index. Here you can see statistics. The IMF statistics reveals that 24 countries use WPI and 157 countries use CPI. Okay, and in India, headline inflation is measured through WPI, which consists of 69 commodities. Remember, services are not included in WPI. Remember this one, services are not included WPI. It, it is of his corresponding month of last year. Okay, service is not included in it. And you can see here in India there are three main components of WPI: primary articles, this one, primary articles, and the fuel and power and manufactured products. Apart from WPI, and CPI is also computed to capture inflation in India. In particular, four categories of CPI are computed: for industrial workers, for urban employees, and agricultural laborers and rural laborers. Remember. Okay. So this is about headline inflation. Now read them from here. Here you can see the details and the information here. And now let's see about MSP. MSP, that is minimum support price. It is a form of market intervention by the government of India to ensure agricultural producers against sharp fall in farm prices. Okay, it is fixed by the government of India and it is recommended by CACP, commissions of for agricultural cost and price. They can recommend only. Remember these things, guys. And excessive fall in MSP's price fixed by the government of India to protect the producers, farmers against the excessive fall in price during the bumper production years. Okay, read them from here, and we will look into the last one. Another one, the NITI Aayog launches Peace to Move. Okay, it's a PIB news. NITI Aayog has launched Peace to Move, a mobility pitch competition that aims to provide budding entrepreneurs of India a unique opportunity to pitch their business ideas to distinguished juries. Startups working the various fields of mobility can pitch their ideas to industry leaders and venture capitalists. Okay, remember we will discuss this venture capitalist also. And about the program, what is the program is all about. Peace to Move is organized by Niti Aayog in collaboration with Invest India and Society of India Automobile Manufacturer, that is SIAM, as a part of series of engaging featured events in the run up to the main event. The summit is scheduled to be held on 7 to 8 September at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. Okay, now let's see what is venture capitalist. Well, a venture capitalist is a person who invests in a business venture providing capital for startup or expansions. Okay, they are profit making entrepreneurs. They looks to earn profit from their investment. Okay, and read more about this venture capitalist from here. Another one from PIB, that is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0. Okay, let's see what is it. Under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0 flagship program of this is a program of Ministry of Human Resources and Development and Government of India. 688 institutions are selected on a challenge mode. Okay, which are reputed higher educational institute of the country, which have both adopted total number of 3,555 villages for their development through UBA Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, also scope for providing subject expert groups assistant and regional coordinating institute to handhold and guide the participating institution have been strengthened. IIT Delhi has designed to function as the national coordinating institution of this program. Okay, now about the mission. The mission of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is to enable higher education institutions to work with the people of rural India in identifying development challenges and evolving appropriate solutions for accelerating sustainable growth. This is the purpose of introducing these missions. It is also aims to create a various cycle between society and inclusive academic system by providing knowledge and practices for emerging professions and to upgrade the capabilities of both the public and private sectors in responding to the development needs of rural India. This is for rural India. Okay, and the goals of this Unnat Bharat scheme. Let's see what are the goals. To build an understanding of development agenda with the Institute of Higher Education and institution capacity and training. Okay, relevant to national needs, especially those rural India, and to re-emphasize the need for the field work and stakeholder interactions and design for societal objective as the basis of higher education. To stress on rigorous reporting and useful outputs as central and to developing new professions. Okay, these are the goals of it. Read it from here. And the major interventions in order to move towards the holistic development of the village. So this I told you, rural development program. Holistic development of village, there are two major domains: human development and material development, which need to be developed in integrated way. The major components of these two domains are, here you can see the human development, health education and culture, value and persecution development, skill and entrepreneurships. Okay, these are the elements of human development. Now the material development is organic agriculture and cow based economy, water management and conservation, renewable energy sources, artisans and rural industries development and harnessing local natural resources, basic amenities, e-support, IT enabling. Okay, these are the material development elements. Okay, so read it and make note from it. Now we will see the another article, that is India's foreign trade. It's a PIB news again. And the merchandise trade also, you can see the picture here. Okay, the statistic pictures is here, you can see it here. Export during July 2018 were valued at US dollar 25.7 billion as compared to US dollar 22.5 billion during the 2017 exhibiting a positive growth of 14.3%. Okay, imports. Now let's see in imports. Imports during July 2018 were valued as US $43.79 billion, which was 28.8% of the higher in dollar terms and 37.28% higher in rupee terms. Also shows a positive growth again here. Okay, and the trading services, the export during June 2018 were valued at US $16.87 billion, registering a positive growth of 4.32%. Okay, imports imports payment during June 2018 were valued at US $10.30 billion, registering a positive growth of 0.89% in dollar terms as compared to negative growth of 6.48% during May 2018. Okay, this is according RBI press release. And trade balance, the trade deficit for July 2018 was estimated 18.02 billions against the deficit of 11.45 billions during 2017. And service, as per the RBI press release of 14th August, the trade balance in service for June 2018 was estimated at US $6.57%. So this is about foreign trade of India. Go through the article fully and point out the data and make note on it. It will help you a lot to write answer in mains. And this is the last one today. This is also from PIB. New transaction structure for future greenfield airport proposed under Navanirman. Okay, now let's see what is the new approach. The new transaction structure for future greenfield airport is being proposed under Navanirman 2018. It is a guiding principle are affordability and sustainability and predictability. Okay, here you can see the maximum blend aeronautic yield in terms of INR per passenger shall be determined by the concessioning authority at the beginning of the concession period. It shall undergo adjustment to account for inflation and certain eventualities over concession period. The MBAY for greenfield airports to the financial year 18-19 is proposed to 400 per year, INR 4,400 per year. The number has been arrived on the basis of the project cash flow analysis for greenfield airports of different capacities and a review of aeronautical yields at Indian and global airports in the recent past. Okay, so quality assurance, and read it from here. The financial support to concessionaries and benefits of this new approach. I give all the data here, and I will also share the link of PDF file in the in the video. So make note from that, and thank you for watching the video.